Hi there, Wally here. In this video, I'm gonna give you a nice presentation about upstream, downstream, and let me ask you this. Have you faced that situation that you go to an interview and then the recruiter just asks something like, okay, I need someone with experience on a Red Hat product, like let's say Satellite, Red Hat Satellite, or OpenShift. And then you say, man, I have no experience, but this is my dream job, I would like to get this position. But in order to get some experience, I need to pay for the subscription because I need to pay for the Red Hat Enterprise Linux and also for the subscription of Red Hat Satellite or OpenShift. They're a little bit expensive, and then I'm just buying this to my learning. And you don't get that position because you don't have experience, but you like to get experience getting that job. And then it is like the dog running behind the tail. And then this is very common to happen all the time. I get this kind of question. And then a few weeks ago I had a pleasure to deliver this presentation to VanLug, which means the Vancouver Linux User Group. And this presentation was pretty cool. So it was not recorded in that specific date, but today I'm gonna just deliver this session, creating a video with the same content, and I hope you enjoy. So before we proceed, if you're not yet subscribing this channel, this is the right time. So just hit the button, subscribe, and if you also would like to receive the notifications once I release a new video, just hit the bell and allow the notification. Then anytime I release a new video, you will get a notification on your smartphone, computer, or whatever. All right, this is the time that you can pick your preferred beverage, have a seat, and let's enjoy the video. Pretty cool. The title of this session is like new skills with Red Hat Upstream Projects. As I mentioned before, this was delivered to Vancouver Linux User Group and was a pretty cool presentation. So let me introduce myself. My name is Waldirio. Currently, I'm Principal Software Maintenance Engineer at Red Hat. And let's move it on. Okay, the agenda for this session will be about me. The big question, this is a nice one. This is like the motto of this session or this video. Upstream and open source projects, Red Hat, upstream versus downstream, and then we understand the difference between them. Red Hat contribution, a basic project workflow, a complete project workflow. So we'll see like two different scenarios, and this definitely will help us to understand much better like the complete workflow. And also some open jobs and opportunities. And when I say that, open jobs and opportunities at Red Hat, okay? So let's talk a little bit about me. My name is Waldirio. A few friends call me Wally. I'm from Brazil. I'm a Brazilian. My name has a V sound, or better, the W has a V sound. So my name is Valdirio. I remember first time I was traveling overseas, and then the lady at Starbucks asked me, "Hey, what is your name?" And then I said Valdirio. Was painful, because I never ever was able to get Valdirio right correctly in the cup of my drink. So I remember once I returned to the lady, I wrote my name in a napkin and I said, "Hey, could you read this for me?" And then it was weird, because she said, "Okay, is this your name?" And then I say, "Yes." "Okay, this is Waldirio." And then after that, I accept the Waldirio. And a lot of guys, a lot of friends around the globe, they call me Wally. So yeah, feel free to call me Valdirio, Waldirio, or Wally. All good. I'm married and I have children, 18 and 16. Not children anymore, I miss the children part, but there they are. Amazing. Beauty. And moving on. I'm a Brazilian and live in Canada since 2018. So we moved to Canada in 2018. A lot of new challenges, new culture, new everything was new, and it is amazing. It is pretty good. I'm a person in love with technology, different aspects of technology, different subjects. I really enjoy and always will enjoy. So this is cool and gold. Yes, I do have a shadow main tattoo. Some people ask me, "Hey, do you have a shadow main, or are you planning to put a shadow main in your arms or in your body?" I don't have this. I made this tattoo long ago because of my relationship with the shadow main, culture, open source, and everything else. If you take a look, you can see Walderio++. Back then in the history, I believe you know IRC. I used to be a very fair user of IRC. And back in 19th years, like IRC was a very popular way to talk, to communicate with people. This tool was used on Red Hat until I believe last year. And then we migrate to different tools. But yeah, we still, or we used to have like IRC internally at Red Hat as well. And as you can see that plus plus, that is like a karma. If you do something good, if you help someone, then you can get like a plus plus in your nick, and that will just bump your karma, just bump your score. These are nerd geek things, you know. And then yeah, I work with collab all the time, and because of that, I really respect like the collaboration. I love the collaboration. I work with collaboration all the time, and because of that, you can see Walderia++ in my arm. Okay. I also wrote a book about spacewalk. If you're not familiar with spacewalk, spacewalk is the upstream version of Red Hat Satellite 5. But Wally, I don't know yet what upstream means. Yeah, we'll learn in this session. Fear not. But just let you know, I wrote a book about spacewalk, and I will talk about this one a little bit more during the presentation, during the session. And this is the book. You can find this on two languages. One is Portuguese, my native language, and after some times I just translate this to English, and this version is it's still available on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon and looking for Spacewalk Linux, then you can see this book over there. One more point about me. I don't feel comfortable in the comfort zone, and you also should not. So anytime that you are very comfortable in your comfortable zone, this is dangerous. Like this is like a trap. So all the time I try to learn new things. I try to help in different ways. I try to specifically learn. I love be learning new things every single day. So my advice, anytime that you feel that you are very comfortable, yeah, try to move, shake a little bit, because this will help you to move it on, to keep your brain working fine, and also that will help you to help others. All right. And be humble and practice good acts. These two little things will help you a lot. This is a good exercise because anytime that we say we are in this position is amazing, is good, we are in that position, that specific time frame. So keep humble, because once you are humble and you practice good things, like this will always return to you in double, and then people will help you in the same way that you help people. So I keep this as my motto, and yeah, I can tell you that works. Definitely this works. There is one more point that I didn't put here. I'm working with Linux since 1996. I started with AIX from IBM in version 2.2 or 2.0 in that specific time frame. And after that, I was a combination of different flavors, different operating systems. One of them was Solaris, and then I started working with Solaris, and then I started working with Linux. In that time frame was Slackware, so long ago, and yeah, long road. Cool. All right, let's move it on. The big question: would you like to be ready for an interview when a company is looking for a Red Hat experienced person? This is the main point. You go to an interview, and in that interview, that job, they are looking for someone that's very familiar or that know one specific product, like Red Hat Satellite or OpenShift or IDM, or so we have different products in our portfolio, talking as a Red Hatter, but they are looking for someone who knows pretty well that product. Okay. And then the big question is, how can I get comfortable? How can I know that product? There are some ways. One is, okay, I can get the certification. and then that's it. I'm already certified in that specific product. But you have to spend money. You have to spend time studying. You have to spend money, specifically money on this subject. And maybe you tell me, but Wally, I don't have money. I don't have money right now to invest on this one. I have time, I have resources, but I don't have money. Is there any other way that I can move it on and learn about Red Hat Satellite, for example? I will not answer this question right now. Stay with me on this presentation and you will see the response that will come up from the whole presentation. But I can tell you for sure that you'll get very excited during the road, all right? And how can you achieve it? So let's first understand some concepts and some points before we move it on. Upstream and open source projects. Create your GitHub account in case you don't have it yet. Yes, GitHub is the most popular tool that we have nowadays to work with versioning and this kind of stuff. My advice, create your account right now if you don't have it yet. If you do have it, amazing. If you do not have, create it right now and you see how this will help you during this journey, this process. Understanding the difference between single repo and organization. We will drill down on this topic right here, but this is very important to keep clear what you're seeing when taking a look in a repository or one specific place when navigating in GitHub. Single project or repository is the repository in the user account. An organization is a place with multiple repositories. Basically, that's it. But Wally, how can I identify when taking a look on this in the web UI? So let's take a look. This is one page. You can see that red circle, Waldurio. At this moment, if you ask me, is this a user or organization? I cannot tell you for sure, okay? I can see RV tools underline Python is one repository. Then we can see all this information on the page. We can see the about, we can see the release, package, fork, stars, but I'm not sure yet. So I cannot tell you for sure. I can scroll down, I can see the readme.md, I can see the description of this file. There is also this issue. So basically when working with repositories, how can I request a new feature? How can I add some suggestion? Or how can I say, hey, this is broken, this is not work as expected. Can you fix this? Issue is the place. So when clicking on issue, you can see that we have this button to new issue. And then I can add some requests like, okay, I added dash dash quiet and dash dash config option, connecting to the vCenter with RV tools. You can see some of them are enhancements, some of them are bug. This is the way, the common way to handle this kind of requests, okay? And this is very common to all the projects or all the repositories, most of the repositories on GitHub. If we click on top of Waldurio, we can see this page. And from here, look at that. I have the name, I have the achievements, I have the followers. When I see such information, I can tell you now for sure this is a user. This is not an organization, okay? And then we can also see over here, github.com/Waldurio. Some information, as I mentioned before, I can also follow this user if I would like to. Now let's take a look on this. This is the organization. Yeah, I mentioned already, sorry. So if we take a look, we have the name, we have the description. The main difference here is about this one. You can see people on the right side. I believe I have, yeah, a red circle. So anytime that you see people over here, and you can see also the description, this organization has no public member. This is the organization. So basically the organization is one place that will combine multiple repositories, okay? You can see on the URL, we have c-rh-c. I don't know any person with this name, but let's suppose that there is no user Waldurio, and I would like to create an organization called Waldurio. Yeah, I should be able to do this. And the only way to know if that URL is organization or a user is taking a look on the page. And then if I see something like this, people, I know for sure this is organization, okay? This is another one, another organization. We know this is github.com/quickfix, and then I can see people here again. So I'm pretty confident that this organization. I can see also the repositories, 27 repositories, and in general, this is the email of the maintainer. Yeah, people once again. And let's say that I have one specific repository over here, which is SOS Analyze. If I click on top of that specific repository, we can see very similar as before. Like we have the organization name. And again, from this page, I don't know if this organization or a user. Now we know this organization because we came from this organization. The name of the repository is SOS Analyze. And same idea, we have issues, we have the about, we have the readme at the bottom, we have the whole information, okay? And from here, we can see the URL. So github.com/quickfix. Again, this is the organization. SOS Analyze, this is the repository. Questions about that? I don't think so. Let's move it on. Let's keep it simple. Let's talk about Red Hat. I will not spend too much time here talking about Red Hat today in this session, but just to show you how big Red Hat is, we have more than 90% of the Fortune 500 use Red Hat products and solutions. And this is not a guessing, we have the links over here. This presentation will also be available on my website, waldirio.com.br, but I'm gonna put the link here on the video as well. We have the average of 22,000 employees around the globe, 105 plus offices, again spread around the globe, and the first 3 billion open source company in the world. This is amazing, impressive, and I'm so proud of that, of be part of that. This is a time frame about Red Hat. This was founded on 1993, and you can see a lot of history here, which is pretty amazing to see like in this format of time frame. And again, feel free to keep this in mind, take a look, and also feel free to check the source about those information. This is pretty valuable, all right? Moving on, upstream versus downstream. So upstream or project. Anytime that you go to the GitHub and see something, we call that upstream or a project. Something that is available to be downloaded, you can use free of charge, that's it, upstream. We have also the downstream or product. Downstream is something that we have in the company, or the product is something that we have in the company, and in general, we have to pay to get all the access to that content, that product, that installation, that media. So again, upstream is the free version and downstream is the paid version. Let's put like this. This picture is amazing because these show how Red Hat works. In the middle, you can see a lot of projects that are around the globe. Then on those sections over here, you can see like Fedora, Ovirt, RDO, Gluster, Foreman. Those are upstream projects. And then those are the projects that you can download, you can use free of charge. You don't have to spend any money, no string attached. You can just use them. They are free of charge. They are upstream. And on the corner, like this or this one, you can see the products. So Fedora, and then we ended up on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Ovirt is our solution, virtualization solution. And then we have a Red Hat virtualization. RDO, this is the upstream. You can go to the RDO right now and download, install, use it. This is the upstream version of Red Hat OpenStack platform. So this is the first moment that I can tell you, guys, if you're looking for to get ready to one interview, that you go and someone is asking for someone with knowledge on Red Hat Satellite, for instance. We have Red Hat Satellite here as a product. And then you can see Foreman. And then, okay, Foreman, while it's stating that this is the upstream version, you can go home right now. You can install, download, install, use, and that's it, free of charge. Will be this Foreman similar to Red Hat Satellite? Yes, will be similar. Will be the same, not the same, because this is ahead. We use this as our development environment. So maybe if I get my Foreman, I deploy the complete Foreman, all the plugins, all the stuff. Maybe Foreman will have more things than we do have in Satellite, in Red Hat Satellite. But the main point is this is our development environment. So all the process about tests, QA, reliability, we don't have in Foreman. We do have on Red Hat Satellite. I will be talking about this one in a few, but the good points, and this helped me to answer the main question, the initial question. Can you get experience with Red Hat Satellite? Yes, you can get your Foreman version. You can install, deploy, start using, see all the interface, web UI configuration. And once you get your Red Hat Satellite infrastructure environment, they will be very close. They will be very similar. And then you can tell for sure, okay, I'm pretty confident that I can handle the Red Hat Satellite because I know a lot about Foreman. I know how to implement Foreman. I know how to manage Foreman. Then yes, I'm confident that I can. This is the first gift to you guys because this is valid for any other one. So OKG for OpenShift, CoreOS for Enterprise Linux CoreOS. So Fuse on the side of middleware. Ansible, we have the Ansible Upstream, and then we have Ansible Automation Platform. If you like to see the Ansible Automation Platform, the web UI, all the tool, we have also another project underneath Ansible, AWX, which is the UI interface. So yeah, for all of them, we have this approach, this workflow. For any product that Red Hat sells the subscription and all the updates, enhancements, and this kind of stuff, we also do have an upstream version. And the upstream version is the way that you can download, you can install, you can learn, and you can improve your skill set on that specific project. All right? Project slash product. All right, let's move it on and let's understand this a little bit more. And definitely, you got it, dude. Now you know this tricky information. I would like to know this in the beginning of my career, but yeah, I spent some time to get this information. But now I know, and I'm glad that I'm sharing this with you guys. All right, let's drill down that information a little bit more and let's see how this works. As you can see here, we have tons and tons of projects, and then we have Foreman. And you can see that Foreman will return this information to the upstream, and then eventually we have one workflow that will turn this Foreman project in Red Hat Satellite product. All right, so let's drill down on this. Let's understand this workflow over here. Let's suppose that I have my upstream Foreman, and then I have the base OS package. Like I need to install this on top of any base OS. And then I have Foreman. I have one component called Foreman. I have another component called Catello. I have another component called Pulp. I have many others components, many other products that will compose this upstream Foreman. Okay, it is not one single thing. It is not one single project or one single repository. It is a combination of them that at the end of the day will create this upstream Foreman. And then let's suppose that I have one problem with this specific module called LDAP Fluff. LDAP Fluff is a component responsible to do the authentication of Foreman with external providers like POSIX or Active Directory, IDM. So we have some providers on this module. Let's suppose that I have a problem with this module. It is not working as expected. And then as open source, we will just fix this one and we will submit this change, this fix to that specific path. And then if we take a look at that. We have https github.com/deforeman. Okay, Wally, deforeman is a user or organization. Now you know the trick. Like probably the Foreman is the organization. And LDAP Fluff is one repository underneath that organization. Okay. So we have that fix, and then this fix is gonna come back to this project. And this is cool because if I have any other project from that big picture consuming LDAP fluff, there you go. This fix is not only available to Red Hat or to Foreman Upstream project, this will be available on that top URL, and then anyone will get benefits from it. Let's use another example. We have Apache, and then we have HTTPG, and many products use Apache on their solutions. Okay, so let's suppose that we are using Apache, and then we got a bug on Apache. Then we will create like the fix, the pull request, and we'll send this to Apache. In this case, you can see that I just put github.com/Apache, and Apache is the organization. And underneath that organization, we have tons of repositories. And then once I got that fixed, I can send this back to the upstream project. So let's suppose that I'm on one specific version of the Foreman. Then I have this problem with Apache or HTTPG. I fixed this one. In the next version or in the next update of my project, the Foreman project, I'm gonna get the new version of Apache with this issue already fixed. So any other project that is using Apache will get benefits from this change because now this fix is available to everyone. So it is not one local change. It is a change that we do on the upstream, on the main project, and then this will be replicated to everyone else. All right. So when we return to this big picture, any change that I have on this point over here, this will come back to the main project. And then there you go. Like, let's suppose that OpenStack is also using Apache. The change that was created by Foreman will be beneficial to OpenStack. In the same way, if OpenStack get any issue on Apache and submit a pull request and this get merged, next time Foreman just get the new version of Apache, that fix will be already in place. And this is valid for all of them. So let's suppose I have Fedora, and then once I deploy the latest version of Fedora and I do yum install HTTPG, there you go. I will be installing the Apache with the fix that was implemented by Foreman and also the fix that was implemented by Red Hat OpenStack. Okay, so this is the main idea about this workflow, how the upstream projects works, and then how they can benefit like multiple different projects. And the main point here is you can learn all of them free of charge, no string attached. If you like to learn Foreman, you can. If you like to learn Ceph or Gluster, which is related to our Red Hat storage product, you can. If you like to learn OpenStack, you can. Just go RDO and that's it. If you like to learn more about Linux, like Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you can download Fedora or CentOS Stream. Definitely you can. And this is valid for any other project that we do have. This is a pretty small picture because we do have a lot of different projects, and I'm gonna show you how to navigate on them. But I believe you got the message here. So 80% of the main question, it is already responded. Definitely you can. So you can use the upstream version to improve your knowledge, get experience, and once you go to that interview, you can also teach to the recruiter when they ask you, hey, do you know Red Hat Satellite? And you can say, nope, but I know Foreman, and Foreman is the upstream of Red Hat Satellite. So I'm also part or member of the community, blah, blah, blah. But I'm pretty confident I know a lot about Foreman. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that I can manage your Red Hat Satellite as well. All right, let's move it on. Now you know a lot about upstream versus downstream, the difference between them, how this works. I'm pretty sure that we can move it on. Red Hat contribution, how Red Hat contributes. Red Hat contributes in many different projects. We have this link under the redhat.com website, and this is the place where you can find different projects that we provide like the support, assistance, and we have Red Hatters working on those projects as well. And how we do it? So we participate in and create community-powered upstream projects. Red Hat's very smart on how to create those kind of projects, upstream projects. We integrate we integrate upstream projects, fostering open community platforms. Eventually, this can happen like we have different projects, and then we are going to create a new project, and then okay, I have one specific subcomponent that will be working with content management, and then I know that we have Pulp. Pulp is an amazing project responsible to handle content management. Can you use Pulp here in this new project as well? Definitely we can. So we don't need to create a new project to do the same thing as the other project, because we already have that project working up and running. So this kind of integration is pretty cool. And stabilize. We commercialize this platform together with a rich ecosystem of services and certification. When we say stabilize, that means basically we certify like that specific product, because we have the upstream, and then we get one specific version behind, or like a few versions behind, we bring home, and then now let's do all the process, the QA process, quality assurance, the certification about hardware, software, third-party software vendors, this kind of stuff, all this certification to keep one version that will be totally supported and reliable. So basically, stabilize is this one, all right? And you can see that we have participate, integrate, stabilize. They work together, and yeah, Red Hat is pretty good doing that. This is the main site that we presented before. And then I would like to show or to call your attention to this link, see where we are involved. Basically, we have sections: software foundation, operating system, containers, desktop. So let me pick one here, operating system. And then you can see underneath operating system, a lot of different projects. I would like to get your attention to two projects. Okay, I'm gonna be using those as an example, but those examples can be valid for all of them. So Pulp and RPM. Let's keep this in mind. Pulp and RPM. If we come back to the main page, we have operations. And on operations, we have Foreman and Catello. Let's keep those also in mind, okay? All right, let's understand a basic project workflow. Let's use Pulp as our first example. Once you click on that link will redirect you to the Upstream project website. Most of them will be something like this. We have one website, pulpproject.org is the URL for this project. Basically, you can click over there and you can see some features or some information, manual, the developer manual, user manual, all the information about this specific project. And I would like to highlight or to get your attention to that information. Like we have the Pulp/Pulp core on GitHub. So if we open this, okay, now we know that Pulp is probably the organization and Pulp core is one repository, okay? And if I click on Pulp, now let's take a look on the URL, github.com/Pulp. I can tell you for sure that this is organization. We can see the people over here, and we also have repositories. So underneath this organization, the Pulp organization, I can see 69 repositories, different repositories. And each repository is responsible for one specific task. Also, there are some additional information like links for X, email, the website. This will be available on this specific page, okay? And if we click on repositories, look at that. We have Pulp file, Pulp CertGuard, Pulp docs, Pulp Ansible. Each repository responsible, as I mentioned before, for one specific task or activity. Let's take a look on the next one. Simple, RPM. So rpm.org is the link for the upstream version of RPM. We can take a look on different informations. Wally, they are not the same skeleton or the same format. Yeah, definitely not. Like each team will be responsible for maintaining their website, their web page, and the information over there. But the nice point is in most of them, you can see how to contribute. And when opening this link, check this out. I can see github.com/rpm-software-management/rpm.git. And from here, now you all are very, very expert on this topic now. GitHub.com is GitHub. RPM Software Management probably is the organization. I don't know any person with this name. RPM is one repository. Okay. And let's take a look. If we open that link, we can see the repository over here. We can see the issues, pull requests, all the information that we do have about this specific repository. This is the organization. And voila, once I click it over here, I can see once again people. I can see 62 repositories. And one very, very common question, Wally, RPM is like the old version of the RPM package management. We have now DNF. Who is responsible for DNF? If you take a look here, we have another repository, DNF, which is also under this organization, RPM Software Management. All right. So again, this is a nice way to understand how Upstream works because the whole code, the source code is over here. It is available anytime that you like to contribute or to see the code, to see what's going on under the hood, you can. You can definitely go on. From here, let me share one more tip. Wally, I can see this application, RPM or DNF use Python, C, Perl, Rust. Can I learn this one? Can I start using and developing on this one? Definitely you can. Again, you have the source code over here. Let me return this page. You have the main page. You have all the way documented of how to contribute to this project. And eventually, if you go to the website, the jobs.red.com, and see some position like, okay, I'm looking for a developer to work with RPM. Man, you know already everything. You are much ahead of anyone else because you know the process. Like you know this website, you know how to contribute, you know where the repository and the organization is located, and eventually you already submitted some pull requests or some change to the code, then yes, definitely you can improve your skill, learn more, and probably be working with this project soon. It is all on you. All right. But now you know the path, you know the way. This is my main message. Pretty good. Now let's talk about the complete project workflow, the Foreman. All right, if you're not familiar with the Foreman, there is one product, and the product is Red Hat Satellite. And Satellite or Red Hat Satellite is one product to manage your infrastructure. Okay, this will keep your RHEL infrastructure organized, errata, patch management, lifecycle environment, installation, updates, and customization, configuration, provisioning, a lot of cool stuff. Okay, can I learn the format? Definitely you can. This is the upstream version of Red Hat Satellite, as known as the Foreman. Okay, the Foreman or Foreman. The Foreman is the website. You can see the foreman.org. We can click on Get Started, and from here you can see some options like features, who use Foreman, Kickstart, sponsor. Let's click on Kickstart. And then on this page, I can see some nice information. And I would like to get your attention to this one, supported platforms. Okay, I can deploy I can deploy the Foreman on different platforms. Enterprise Linux 8, Enterprise Linux 9, Debian 11, Ubuntu 20, and Ubuntu 22. If you take a look on this note, when mentioning Enterprise Linux, we are using Alma Linux 8, Alma Linux 9, CentOS Stream 8, and CentOS Stream 9. But other RHEL derivatives can work because they are similar. But let's keep like on the highlights. Wally, I have no money. I would like to learn about Red Hat Satellite. Can I do that? Yes. Go to your home, or if you're watching this video from your home, you don't need to go home. You're already home. Download CentOS Stream 8 or 9. And then in the same page, you can see some steps that you have to do to install this one. So if you create a virtual machine, install CentOS Stream 9, follow those steps, now you have your Foreman up and running. And then you can install, you can participate on the different chats that we do have, forum, mail list, and definitely checking the documentation. And definitely this will, at the end of the day, teach you a lot about how to manage your environment using Foreman or the Red Hat Satellite Upstream version. Then at the end of the day, if you get your Foreman up and running and you know a lot about how to do things in your Foreman, and you open up like a new browser and connect to a Red Hat Satellite, you will see that they are very, very similar. Like the web UI, the commands that you're running on your upstream version, they'll be very similar to the commands that you'll be running on your satellite version. So yeah, I'm pretty confident answer that main question. Yes, you can improve your knowledge. You can know the product, how the product works, because now you have all this knowledge about the upstream and how easy it is for you to implement the upstream version in your local lab, free of charge again. So yes, one common question that I do have is, okay, can I get my upstream version like Foreman, deploy and put this on my production environment? I would say no. And why is that? Because anytime that you are using the upstream version, again, we don't have all the QA, the process, testing hardware, software, third party hardware. We don't have this process with the upstream version comparing with the downstream, okay? So eventually we can add some new features on the upstream. And once you update your upstream version, maybe your Foreman can just break, can stop working. And then if your environment is critical, we don't want to see your environment, the critical environment down because of any change that we have made on this environment. So because of that, we do not recommend you to be using this, okay? Also, we have some SLA. So if you're using Red Hat Satellite and you have problems, my personal advice to everyone who is watching this video, if you have a valid subscription, go on and open a support case with Red Hat. You don't have to be spinning and looking for a solution and trying to fix the issue. You are paying subscription for this. So just open a support case and that's it. Let the Red Hat guys work on your case, do the next step and fix your problem. However, when working in the upstream, it is different because the next step will be like, let me go to the mail list. Let me send one email to the mail list. Hey guys, I updated my satellite or I updated my Foreman and now my Foreman is broken. It's not starting. So can you help me to fix this? Eventually this response can return in 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 1 day, or maybe will not return because there is no SLA. Maybe no one saw that issue. Maybe no one is able to replicate, to mimic. See, this is the main difference of upstream and downstream, or one of them. And because of that, we do not recommend upstream in your production environment. But again, the focus of this presentation is, can I use this to help me to improve my knowledge about the project and upstream and much more than only the product? Yes, definitely you can. All right. And again, free of charge, 100% free. You can install CentOS 8 or 9, CentOS Stream. Just pick the version and that's it. You can see all the steps over here. If you pick Enterprise Linux 9, some commands that you can copy and paste on your end. And at the end of the day, that's it. Your Foreman is up and running, installed, and then you can start using it. And this is the time, excitement, because as I said before, can we learn with the upstream? Yes. Can we contribute with the upstream? Yes. Can you get involved with the people who are creating the product? Yes, because the same people who created the product, it is the same people who are working on the upstream projects, all right? And yes, we have a lot of Red Hatters working on the upstream right now. And I can tell you, I'm one of them. I work on both sides. I work with the project and I work with the product as well. Cool, let's move it on. How to get involved. Before I move it on to this place, let me return here and say, okay, this is the point that you say, okay, I would like to improve my knowledge on this specific project, okay? I would like to know more about the Foreman. And then that's it. Do I have to donate or commit some change or to do something? No, just download your CentOS Stream version, create a virtual machine, install the package, and that's it. You have all set, good to go. However, if you like to contribute, if you like to get involved with the people who are working with the development process, you can move it on. And how to do that? Get involved, contribute, and then in this page you can see a lot of information. But I like to call your attention to that link over there, Fork Me on GitHub. And then there you go. Here we are one more time. We have the Foreman. The Foreman is the upstream. We can see people. We can see repositories, 226 repositories. If I click over there, I can see forklift. I can see Foreman packaging, Foreman infra. And once again, any repository responsible for one specific task. And at the end of the day, they can be combined and then we'll create this amazing product called Red Hat Satellite, but before this amazing project called Foreman. So we have one specific project called Foreman. This is one repository. And Catello, remember I mentioned like two projects. One was Foreman, another one was Catello. Catello is another project. You can see GitHub, Catello, and then, okay, Catello here is organization. We have one organization called Catello, and then underneath this organization, I have another repository called Catello. Okay, this is a plugin that will improve the satellite usability, specifically about the connection with Pulp and content management. So Catello is definitely a nice guy. And then, once again, I have my organization Catello and my repository Catello. Wally, can I have organization and repository with the same name? Definitely you can, as we can see over here. One point though that you can see, let me call your attention. Where is the issues tab? Do you remember? In the beginning, I was mentioning like most of the projects, they will work like this. We have the repository, and then we have code, pull requests, actions, we have a lot of tabs, and one of them is issues. And that place is the place that I'm gonna say, hey, this is not working fine, or could you add this request for enhancement, this kind of stuff. This one is not here, and this is on purpose. And why is that? Because some projects, they have like websites like this. And with this website, they have some application that will track those issues. So they would like not to use the issues to track issues on GitHub. Instead, they will be using a different tooling. So if you take a look here, click on Get Involved, report a bug, and then we have this application. This is Redmine. And then over here, you can see different projects like Foreman, Hammer CLI, CAFO, plugins. We can scroll this page down and see different projects. But this is the place where we can submit an issue. Okay, so you can see the project here, Catello. This is a bug. This is new. The priority is high. And then Smart Prox can serve incorrect content if remote is new. So again, this is the way that we do things. Sometimes you can see issues on the GitHub page. Sometimes you can see platforms like this that will be handling all those issues, okay? New features, issues, any kind of requests. And again, this is very common in different projects. So with Foreman, we have this. With Pulp, we have another platform and go on. Different projects, different ways to track the issues and requests for enhancements and any new request that we may have in that specific project. All right, now let's talk about open jobs and opportunities. Jobs.redhat.com is the place that you can go and see all the jobs that we have in the company open right now. There are a bunch of queries that you can apply. Just hit this red and big button, search all Red Hat jobs, and then you can apply all the queries. My advice, if you are already familiar with the project that you are working on, and then you can come over here, you can see, okay, this match the description of this application, the description of this position match with this project that I'm working on. And probably the manager or the person responsible for that position, it is already working with you in that specific upstream project. So definitely this is a good thing because you have already this relationship. Eventually you may know the person that will be responsible for that specific position, and yes, you are in advantage because you know the process, you know the workflow, you know how to work. This is definitely a good thing that you can think about. All right. Okay, just a small recap. Upstream and open source projects. Now you know pretty well what is the upstream, how upstream works, and GitHub basically. Again, if you do not have your GitHub account yet, go for it. This is the time. Red Hat. We spoke pretty fast about Red Hat, but as you can see, an amazing company, amazing place to learn and to share knowledge. Yeah, definitely this culture is amazing. Upstream versus downstream. Very, very common. Upstream is the one that you can use free of charge. Feel free to go take a look in the code, check the code. You can learn, you can contribute, you can help. Downstream is the version that the company will sell to the customer. It's like the one that you need the subscription to get access and get updates and get any additional information. Red Hat contribution. Now you know how Red Hat contributes with different projects. You can go in that link, you can take a look on all the projects. You can check some projects that maybe will fit better with your skill set or something that you love, something that you like to learn or maybe improve your knowledge. And this is the way, I would say. Basic project workflow. We saw very superficial Pulp and RPM. Like both has websites, both has the basic information, how to contribute, how to start, how to initiate this communication. And again, this is the first step on all of them. I would say all of them. Feel free to take a look on different projects and then you can see some additional information for them. When talking about the Foreman, and I know Foreman pretty well because I work with Satellite and I work also with Foreman, the upstream project. Yeah, this is the complete workflow. There are some additional information, but it is not part of this presentation, this session specifically. As I mentioned before, if you like to learn about the upstream project, just to improve your knowledge about the product that we create from that upstream, definitely this is the best way ever to move it on. If you like to contribute to the upstream project as well, new language, coding, UX, whatever, definitely you will be very, very welcome. All right. Open jobs and opportunities. Again, go on the website, take a look on the jobs that are open. If you see something that fit with your skill, your knowledge, something that you like to pursue, that's it. You can definitely apply and move it on with the process. And to close this session slash video, let's return to the big question. Would you like to be ready for an interview when a company is looking for a Red Hat experienced person? Definitely yes. This is the main point. Like, I would like to go to the meeting, I would like to go to the interview and be totally ready to catch that position. And once I see, like, this is a Red Hat position, and then I have no money to buy that subscription to improve my knowledge about that subscription, but I know this whole history, this whole process about upstream, downstream, how this works, how can I get access to the projects, the upstream projects. Definitely you can get all the know-how, all the experience that you need, and then go to your interview and master it. Definitely you can say to the recruiter, yes, I know Red Hat Satellite, I know the upstream. Let me tell you this story about how this works, this workflow, and I'm pretty confident that the recruiter will be fascinated with your knowledge about this workflow and all the process, because this is not a common thing to listen during interview from a people that we are looking for, to work. So if they see someone that knows a lot about, okay, the upstream workflow, the process workflow, and then the Red Hat satellite flow, yeah, yeah, I'm pretty confident that you will master in your interview. So questions, if you have questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than glad to answer all of them. And thank you. And here are some contents that I also added on this presentation. Those are the contents that you can reach me out. If you take a look on this website, you can get this presentation on this link. So go over there and download the presentation. Also, we have a Discord channel. So the main idea of this Discord channel is to put some amazing people together. Feel free to drop your question, and I'm pretty confident that me or someone else will be able to help you. If we don't know, we'll be glad to learn and then answer your question as well. All right. All of them, you can just reach me out, and that's it. Yeah, guys, this was the presentation that I delivered as I spoke before. I hope you enjoyed this session. This was, again, an amazing session. People learned a lot, was very interactive, and I'm pretty confident that you learn a little bit as well. So again, feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any question, if you have any points, if you like to add something to this session or to this presentation. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.